Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to talk about the quickest way to gear up to 450 without having to touch any instance content. So the first two ways is check for your weekly chests and weekly quests. The Aiding the Accord and the weekly quest, which could be a dungeon quest, etc., are great ways to pick up gear, so please take a look at those. You can find them in Vault Dragon, you should be used to them by now. The next way we're going to look is Worthy Ally. This drops a 441 piece of gear every single week. It's a great way to pick up pieces, and I highly suggest you make sure you pick it up straight away before you do anything else. Next, we're going to take on the World Boss, who's now available. He has a chance to drop a champion piece of gear, which obviously is a chance to drop, but still when it does is pretty good. So I highly suggest you take him on as well. He can drop a neck, a chest, or a waist, at least for my class. But you can drop 3 pieces for your class, so it's definitely something to try out, as he can push you quite a bit. Next we have the Superbloom event. This is also a weekly quest, or the weekly chest. You can do it more than obviously once a week, but you only get the big reward once per week. Now you need to take the quest Superbloom. This will give you a cache of the Dreambound seed, and you can exchange this in and you will receive a 441 item along with some flight stones and other valuable resources. It's important to focus on flight stones and obviously some of these resources because you will need them. A lot of this gear comes at 441 and we're going to need scales and flight stones to upgrade it. Next we have the Seedbloom quest. This will drop another bag that will also drop another 441 piece of gear. So we're starting to stack up the 441 pieces of gear, which is pretty good stuff. So we want to definitely complete this. It requires you to do 5 emerald bounties and plant a seed, which is pretty good because we're going to need those. And then finally getting to rank 7 with the Renown Vendor, and later on rank 14 will enable you to buy a 441 piece of gear and then later on a slightly higher piece of gear. Both are pretty good, and the Renown 7 is pretty easy to get to if you do the main quest. Now world quests are going to be great, not so much for high level gear, but just mainly to fill up your rings and trinket slots. There's generally speaking at least 2 elite quests per week that will drop a 431 piece of gear that can be upgraded to a 447. Not 450, but we'll take it for now. And then of course we want to do emerald bounties for 2 reasons. The scales mainly, which you can then downgrade by the upgrade vendor in the main hub area, or for the flight stones. Both are super duper important and we need them both. Now that we've picked up a couple 441 pieces of gear and 431 pieces of gear, we just simply have to upgrade them. The biggest resource that's going to hinder you is flight stones and dragon scales. The scales you can get easily by doing emerald bounties and downgrading them, and the flight stones you can pick up by pretty much doing any content, but mainly pushing renown with the dream wardens. And that's that. Super duper quick. If you spam these methods, you should in 2 weeks pretty much be 450 and ready to tackle the hard content. Bye.